There comes a moment in life when everything feels loud. Thoughts pull in every direction. Expectations sit heavy on the chest. The world seems to ask for more effort, more proof, more results. And in the middle of all this noise, something quiet inside you is waiting, not demanding, not chasing, just waiting for you to notice it. That quiet place is where your real power lives. So much energy is spent looking outward, watching what others are doing, wondering if you are doing enough, asking when things will finally change. But real change does not begin out there. It begins the moment you turn your attention back to yourself, not in a selfish way, not in a cold or distant way, but in a gentle, caring way. The kind of focus that says, I matter too. Focusing on yourself does not mean ignoring the world. It means choosing to listen to your inner world before the outside world speaks over it. It means noticing your thoughts, your feelings, your needs without judgment. When you do this, something soft but powerful begins to happen. You stop leaking energy. You stop chasing what is meant to come naturally. You begin to stand still inside yourself. When attention moves inward, pressure begins to dissolve. The need to prove fades. The constant comparison loses its grip. You no longer move from fear, but from presence. And presence is magnetic. It is calm. It is steady. It does not beg for attention, yet attention is drawn to it. There is a deep peace that comes from being rooted in yourself, not because everything outside has become perfect, but because you are no longer depending on the outside to feel whole. You are no longer asking the world to tell you who you are. You are remembering it for yourself. This is where the shift begins, when you stop scattering your energy everywhere and gently gather it back home. When you stop watching life from the outside and start living it from the inside. This inward turn is not retreat, it is return. And from this return, everything else starts to change. When you focus on yourself, something important happens. Your energy becomes whole again. Instead of being pulled apart by opinions, expectations, and noise, it comes back into one place, and energy that is whole is strong. It does not need to push. It does not need to chase. It simply is. So much stress comes from looking outward for answers that can only be found within. Approval, direction, worth, safety. When these are searched for outside, life feels unstable. One good moment lifts you up. One bad moment pulls you down. You are always reacting, never resting. But when your focus turns inward, you begin to build something steady. You learn to check in with yourself instead of checking for approval. You learn to ask, how do I feel about this? Instead of, what will others think? This changes the way you move through life. Decisions become clearer. Boundaries become easier. Peace becomes familiar. Focusing on yourself does not mean you stop caring about others. It means you stop abandoning yourself. It means you no longer place your value in the hands of people, situations, or outcomes. You begin to hold it gently in your own awareness. And when you do, you stop trying to earn what was never meant to be earned. There is a reason life feels lighter when you stop trying to control everything. Control comes from fear. It comes from the belief that if you do not manage every detail, something will go wrong. But focusing on yourself teaches you trust. Trust in your inner guidance. Trust in your ability to respond. Trust that you are capable, even when things are uncertain. When you are centered within yourself, you no longer rush. You no longer force timing. You no longer chase attention. You become present. And presence has a quiet power. People feel it. Opportunities respond to it. Life opens to it. Energy follows attention. When attention is scattered, energy is weak. When attention is centered, energy is strong. By focusing on yourself, you are not shrinking your world, you are strengthening your foundation. And a strong foundation changes everything that stands on it. This is why focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. It is how you stop living from pressure and start living from peace. It is how you move from reaction to alignment, and alignment is what allows life to flow instead of fight. From a young age, many people learn to look outside themselves for approval. Praise becomes proof of worth. Attention becomes a sign of value. Being chosen becomes a measure of importance. Over time, this creates a habit of reaching outward, always checking, always waiting for a signal that says, "You are enough." But the truth is simple and freeing. No amount of approval can replace self-acceptance. External validation feels good for a moment, but it never lasts. The mind quickly asks for more, another sign, another compliment, another confirmation, and so the cycle continues. When your sense of worth depends on outside approval, peace becomes fragile. One comment can lift you high. One silence can bring doubt. You begin to shape yourself to fit what you think will be accepted. Slowly, without noticing, you move further away from who you really are. Releasing the need for validation is not about rejecting others. It is about reclaiming yourself. It is about choosing to be at home in your own presence. When you stop asking others to tell you your value, you begin to feel it naturally. This does not happen all at once. It is a gentle practice. You notice when you are seeking approval. You pause, you breathe, you ask yourself what you truly need in that moment. Often, what you need is not praise but reassurance, not attention but rest, not validation but kindness toward yourself. As you begin to give yourself what you were seeking from others, something shifts. The need softens, the urgency fades. You stop performing and start being, and being is enough. When you are no longer hungry for validation, your energy changes. You become calmer, more grounded, less reactive. You listen more deeply, but you are not controlled by what you hear. You move with clarity instead of fear. Ironically, when you stop chasing validation, you often receive more genuine respect, not because you are trying harder, but because you are standing firmly in yourself. Confidence grows naturally from self-acceptance. It does not need to announce itself, it is felt. Releasing the need for validation is one of the greatest acts of self-love. It frees you from constant comparison. It frees you from emotional dependence. It frees you to live from truth instead of approval. And in that freedom, you discover something powerful. You were never meant to be validated by the world. You were meant to validate yourself. Self-trust is not something you are born with or without. It is something you build slowly through attention and care. Many people believe trust comes from knowing all the answers or feeling confident all the time. But true self-trust is much quieter than that. It is the calm belief that no matter what happens, you will be able to meet it. When you do not trust yourself, life feels confusing. You second-guess your choices. You look to others for direction. You doubt your feelings. You wonder if you are doing things the right way. This creates inner noise. The mind becomes busy, always searching, always unsure. But when you begin to trust yourself, the noise softens. You stop fighting your inner voice. You stop ignoring what feels true to you. You begin to listen, and listening is the first step of self-trust. Self-trust grows when you honor your feelings instead of judging them. When you allow yourself to feel tired, unsure, excited, or calm without pushing those feelings away. Each time you listen to yourself and respond with care, trust strengthens. It is like a quiet agreement between you and your inner world that says, I will not abandon you. This kind of trust does not make life perfect. It makes life steady. You may still face challenges, but you face them with less fear. You no longer panic when things are unclear because you trust your ability to move forward one step at a time. You know you do not need to see the whole path to take the next step. Spiritually, self-trust is alignment. It is the understanding that wisdom does not only come from outside sources, it also rises from within you. When you are still enough to listen, guidance appears naturally, not as loud instructions, but as gentle knowing. The more you trust yourself, the less you feel the need to control outcomes. You understand that life responds better to calm confidence than to fear-driven effort. You stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what feels right for me right now? That shift alone brings peace. Self-trust is not about being perfect. It is about being present. It is about standing with yourself instead of against yourself. And when you do that, life begins to feel less like a test and more like a conversation. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to lose connection with yourself. The moment you measure your life against someone else's path, your attention leaves the present moment. You stop seeing what is right in front of you. You stop honoring your own pace. Comparison creates the illusion that there is a single right timeline, a single right way to live, a single measure of success. But life does not move in straight lines. It moves in cycles, seasons, and rhythms. When you compare, you place pressure on yourself to rush or force outcomes that are not ready. Control often follows comparison. When you believe you are behind, you try to catch up. When you believe you are missing something, you try to force it. Control feels like safety, but it is rooted in fear. It says, if I don't manage everything, I will fall apart. Letting go of control does not mean becoming careless. It means becoming present. It means releasing the belief that you must hold everything together by force. When you focus on yourself instead of comparing, you return to your own rhythm. You begin to move with life instead of against it. Every person has a different pace. What comes easily to one may take time for another. What arrives early for some may arrive later for you, and that does not mean it is lesser. It means it is aligned with your growth. When you stop comparing, you free up energy. That energy can then be used to nourish your own life. Instead of measuring it, you begin to ask better questions, not, why don't I have week at they have, but what do I need right now? Letting go of control creates space, space for insight, space for rest, space for clarity. In that space, answers rise naturally. You realize that forcing never brought peace, but alignment always does. You do not need to run someone else's race. You do not need to prove anything. Your life is not late. It is not wrong. It is unfolding in its own way. When you trust that, control loosens its grip, and when control loosens, calm returns. Life reflects the state you carry within. When your inner world is tense, rushed, or fearful, the outer world often feels the same. When your inner world becomes calm and aligned, life begins to respond differently. Not because you demanded change, but because your energy shifted. Inner alignment happens when your thoughts, feelings, and actions move in the same direction. You are no longer pushing yourself to be someone you are not. You are no longer saying yes when you feel no. You are no longer chasing what drains you. You begin to live in agreement with yourself. This alignment creates ease. You make choices that feel right instead of choices that look right. You move with clarity instead of pressure, and slowly, without force, the outside begins to change. Opportunities appear when you are ready, not when you are desperate. Conversations flow when you are present, not when you are trying to impress. Relationships feel healthier when you are grounded, not when you are seeking validation. When you focus on yourself, you stop sending mixed signals to life. Your energy becomes clear, and clarity is powerful. Life responds to clarity because it knows where to meet you. You do not have to chase attention to become the focus. When you are aligned, attention comes naturally. People are drawn to calm confidence. Situations shift around grounded energy. This is not effort. This is resonance. Inner alignment does not mean everything outside becomes perfect. It means you become steady no matter what is happening. From that steadiness, better choices are made. From those choices, better outcomes grow. The shift always starts inside. When you choose to focus on yourself, to listen, to trust, and to align, you change the signal you send into the world, and the world, quietly and consistently, responds. Becoming the focus does not happen by demanding attention. It happens by giving yourself attention first. Real self-care is not about fixing yourself or becoming better. It is about listening. It is about noticing what your body needs, what your heart feels, and what your mind is carrying. Many people move through life disconnected from themselves. They ignore tiredness. They push past discomfort. They silence emotions to keep going. Over time, this creates distance inside. And when you are distant from yourself, you look outside to feel whole again. Presence brings you back. Presence means being wise. Here you are without rushing to the next moment. It means eating without distraction, resting without guilt, breathing without effort. These simple acts may seem small, but they are powerful. They tell your inner world, I am here with you. Self-care is not selfish, it is grounding. When you take time to check in with yourself, you stop running on empty. You stop giving from a place of exhaustion. Instead, you begin to move from fullness. When you are present with yourself, you naturally become more centered. Your attention is no longer scattered. You are not constantly pulled by what others need or expect. You begin to stand calmly in your own space. This is how you become the focus, not by trying to be seen, but by being deeply connected to yourself. People feel that connection. It creates a quiet strength, a calm confidence, a sense of ease that cannot be forced. Presence makes you visible without effort. It makes your energy clear. When you are fully here, life meets you where you are. Opportunities align. Interactions feel smoother. You are no longer chasing connection. You are allowing it. When you focus on yourself, urgency begins to fade. You no longer feel rushed to arrive somewhere or become someone. You begin to understand that growth has its own timing, and that timing cannot be forced without creating resistance. So much stress comes from believing you are behind in life, behind in success, behind in healing. This belief creates pressure. Pressure leads to doubt. Doubt pulls you out of the present moment. Trusting timing brings you back. It reminds you that what is meant for you is not late. It is aligning. When you stay centered within yourself, waiting no longer feels like punishment. It feels like preparation. Staying centered does not mean doing nothing. It means doing what you can with calm intention instead of fear. It means showing up without attachment to outcome. It means allowing space for life to move in its own way. When you trust timing, you stop comparing your progress to others. You stop measuring your worth by speed. You begin to respect your own pace, and that respect creates peace. Patience becomes easier when you are grounded in yourself. You are not waiting for life to begin. You are living it now. Each moment becomes valuable, not just the moment when everything finally makes sense. Trusting timing is an act of self-trust. It says, I believe my life knows what it is doing. And when you believe that, you stop forcing doors that are not ready to open. Confidence does not always look bold or loud. True confidence is calm. It does not rush to explain itself. It does not compete. It does not seek approval. It rests in knowing. Calm confidence grows when you are at peace with yourself, when you stop fighting who you are and start accepting where you are. This acceptance softens resistance inside, and softness creates strength. When you embody calm confidence, your presence changes. You speak with clarity. You listen without tension. You respond instead of react. Others feel safe around grounded energy. They feel seen. They feel respected. This kind of confidence is magnetic. It does not demand attention, but it naturally draws it. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their own space, who do not need to prove or perform. Calm confidence comes from alignment, from knowing your values, from honoring your limits, from trusting your inner guidance. It is built slowly through small acts of self-respect. Each time you choose peace over panic, confidence grows. Each time you listen to yourself instead of doubting, confidence deepens. And over time, this becomes your natural state. You do not need to become someone else to be confident. You simply need to stop abandoning yourself. Confidence is not something you add, it is something you uncover. Focusing on yourself is not turning away from life, it is turning toward it with clarity. When you come back to yourself, everything else begins to find its place. You are allowed to grow at your own pace. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to choose peace over pressure. When you focus on yourself with kindness, you create a steady center within. From that center, life flows more easily. You stop chasing what is meant to meet you. You stop forcing what is meant to unfold. Trust that giving yourself attention is safe. Trust that honoring your inner world strengthens your outer life. Trust that when you are aligned with yourself, life aligns with you. There is nothing missing in you. There is nothing you need to prove. The moment you stop reaching outward for confirmation and turn inward with care, something powerful settles into place. You become grounded. You become steady. You become present. Life does not ask you to run faster or try harder. It asks you to listen more deeply, to trust more fully, to stand gently but firmly in who you are. When you focus on yourself, not with fear, but with love, you naturally become the focus, not because you demanded attention, but because you are aligned. And alignment always draws what belongs to it. Stay with yourself, return often. Everything you are looking for begins there.